Hi there, and welcome to With Wanza. My name is Wanza. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad that you're watching this. It's been a while since I last posted, but I have posted today. So today, I wanted to share something that I feel like it has been the message for this season. I have had the message a number of times, and it's something that I wanted to share, but I wasn't so sure whether to share it or not. But I think it's the message that I need to be sharing at this point. And it's about a story that you know too well, a story in the Bible. It's the story of Joseph. All right. It's found in Genesis from chapter 37 to chapter 50. When you go read, you'll find the story of Joseph. And basically, I'll share the story and highlight one thing that I really wanted to share with you guys, just as an encouragement. All right. As we know Joseph's story, Joseph was called by God, and he was given two dreams by the Lord, where he was shown that in future he was going to be a great person, and he had a great purpose in the future. And so when he was shown two dreams where he was going to be a ruler, he shared the dreams with his father and again with his brothers. But remember that Joseph was not very loved. He was not loved so much by his brothers. And so one time they plotted to kill him. There's a time that the dad had sent Joseph to go and check on his brothers who were taking care of the, what do you call them, of the flock. Is it is it flock, guys? They were just basically taking care of the animals, all right? Of course, domestic animals. And he was sent to go and check on them. And when they saw him coming, they started plotting to kill him. And when Joseph got where they were, they changed their mind, and they thought it's not a very good idea to actually kill Joseph, but we can throw him in the cistern. And so that's what they decided, let's throw him in the cistern. But it happened that there are some merchants who are going to Egypt to sell, I think, spices, to sell some stuff there. And so when they saw the merchants coming, they said, instead of leaving our brother in the cistern to die there or to be eaten by the wild beasts, we can actually sell him to this person who can do whatever he wants with him, to these people, so that they can do whatever they want with him. And so when the merchants approached them, they actually sold Joseph. And we know that is how Joseph ended up being in Egypt, where he went to work at Potiphar's house. That's where he was sold as one of the workers to Potiphar. And we know that when he was there, he had favor with Potiphar. But again, we see that when he was there, that's when the Potiphar's wife falsely accused him, and Joseph was taken to prison as a result of false accusation from Potiphar's wife. And he was in prison for some time. And we see that how he comes to get out of prison is when one of the cupbearers, or one of the Pharaoh's workers, was actually put in prison, without going into details why. He had a dream. There were two of them, and so they had dreams, and Joseph was able to interpret the dreams correctly. And so one was killed, but there's one who remained and was restored to his position. And this is the person that comes to remember Joseph much later, when the king again has two dreams. Can you see something here, guys? Joseph had two dreams, the king had two dreams, all right? And there's a theme of dreams in this, or rather there's a dream thing going on in this story of Joseph. And so when the servant who had been released, Pharaoh's servant who had been released, when he remembered that Joseph could interpret dreams, and King Pharaoh had had two dreams which he didn't know how to interpret. So the cupbearer said there's someone who can interpret dream, and that is how Joseph comes out of prison. And we see that in a matter of moments, the life of Joseph changes so much, and the two dreams that God had spoken to him about, they now come to pass. All right. And so this is a very broad topic. Yeah, it has many things that we can learn from it, but I just wanted to highlight one or two things that I wanted to share in this particular video. And the first thing is that everybody has been given a calling in their lives. There's nobody who comes to this world without a calling. And the word of God says that he wrote all of our days before even one of them came to be. So that tells you that God had a plan for you, and he had a plan for me. And the other thing is that despite God having a plan for you, there's so many things that can happen in between, to hinder that plan, to fight that plan. And sometimes it's not always to hinder and to fight that plan. Sometimes it's a preparation process. Sometimes it may not be easy to tell the difference, but the thing is that whatever happens in between, as long as you stay in God's presence, God will still accomplish the purpose that he has said that he will through you. The only thing that can stop the purposes of God from being fulfilled in our lives is when we ourselves refuse to cooperate with God, when we ourselves rebel. And why I'm saying this is because there can be so many things fighting you in your purpose that God has given you. And for example, in Joseph's case, he had shared the dream with his brothers, which you can probably say was a mistake on his end, right? And what you find is that you can actually make mistakes on your end that can actually interfere with your purpose. But as long as you surrender to God, God is able to pick that mess and still work it out in a way that he's going to make things all right. When Joseph came and shared the dream with his brothers, they wanted to kill him. He could have died, but God made a way, He made a way and he didn't die. And that's why we see that there are merchants who came and took Joseph and went and sold him, in the foreign land, Egypt. And despite Joseph having gone through very difficult seasons and challenges, he went through many challenges when he was in Egypt before he actually came to realize the promises of God in his life concerning his call. But the important thing is that he still got to experience that which God had promised him in his life. And so the encouragement here is that it is possible that you can go through challenges. Some you have created yourself. Some we create ourselves, some I create myself. But as long as you surrender to God, God is still able to pick the issues that we create. He's able to pick the mistakes that we make. He's able to pick the situations, the challenges that we face. And he's still able to accomplish that which he said he will do through us. And so that's the thing that I wanted to first encourage us today. I feel like I want to share more and share other lessons that I'm learning from this story. But today the lesson that we are picking is that God is able to accomplish his purposes in our lives despite the challenges that we go through. And the other thing that I'd like to highlight is that our destiny, our lives and our purposes are in the hands of God, not in the hands of people. People can decide that no, we are going to hinder you so that you will not accomplish your purpose. But there's nobody who is in the place of God to really hinder your purposes, to really hinder his purposes in your life. Nobody has the power to do that except God allows them, or except that you rebel against God. Nobody is in the place of God to hinder his purposes in your life unless you rebel and you decide that I'm not surrendered to this God. The important thing is that I remain at the place of surrender. In that place, God is able to be in control and to lead us on the way that we are supposed to go. So that is what I wanted to share today. I hope that next week I can share more. I'm not so sure, but I may share more concerning the same story, because I find that there are so many lessons that we can learn from the story of Joseph, right from things like forgiveness, that it's his brothers really hurt him, right from enduring challenges. Sometimes we question and we wonder, God promised this and he said this, but it's taken ages. Is he still going to do it? Especially when things are so hard, you can wonder so much and wonder, is God still going to do what he said he will do? And those are the kind of lessons that I want to share, but I don't want to make this video too long. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have been blessed by this message. I really appreciate. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. and share with somebody who needs to hear this message. Thank you so much and have a wonderful time. Bye.